Hey everyone, welcome back to English Studio. I'm Maya.
And I'm Jordan.
So, how's your day been, Jordan?
Honestly, a bit tiring. One of those days where you feel busy but not sure what you actually did. How about you?
Same here. I was feeling a little nervous before we started recording.
Nervous? That's interesting. About what?
I think it's today's topic. It feels close to home.
Yeah, I get that. I had the same feeling. Like this is one of those conversations people don't realize they need.
Exactly. So, what are we talking about today?
I want to ask you something. When was the last time you did something just for fun? Not for work, not for self-improvement, not to post on Instagram. Just pure enjoyment.
If you're struggling to answer that question, you're not alone. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. Hobbies.
The things we do simply because they bring us joy, because they light us up, because life is more than just work and responsibilities.
And Jordan, I know you went through a phase where you had zero hobbies. You were all work all the time.
I was. For years, my entire identity was my job. Someone would ask, "What do you do?" And I'd talk about work. "What do you do for fun?" And I'd go blank.
What changed?
I burned out completely. And in that burnout, I realized I had nothing outside of work. No interests, no passions, no creative outlets. I was one-dimensional.
That's really common, especially in our productivity-obsessed culture.
It is. We're taught that every moment should be productive, every activity should have a purpose. But hobbies? They're just for enjoyment, and that feels almost guilty.
Like you're wasting time?
Exactly. But here's what I learned. Hobbies aren't a waste of time. They're essential for being a full, happy human.
So let's dive in. First question, what even is a hobby?
A hobby is something you do regularly for pleasure, not for money or obligation. It's an activity you choose because you enjoy it.
Not because you have to, but because you want to.
Right. And the key word is pleasure. Not everything needs to be about getting better or achieving something.
Though you might improve at your hobby over time, that's not the main goal.
Exactly. The goal is enjoyment, relaxation, engagement, flow, whatever that hobby gives you.
Why are hobbies so important? Why do we need them?
First, they give you identity beyond your job. You're not just a teacher or a designer. You're also a rock climber, a painter, a chess player.
You become more interesting.
True. But more importantly, when work struggles happen, and they will, your whole identity doesn't collapse.
Because you have other parts of yourself to draw on.
Exactly. When I lost my job a few years ago, I was devastated because work was everything. Now, if that happened, I'd still be a runner, a photographer, a cook. Those parts of me remain.
That's powerful. What else do hobbies provide?
Stress relief. When you're engaged in a hobby you love, your brain stops ruminating about work problems.
You're fully present in what you're doing.
Yes, when I'm taking photos, I'm not thinking about emails or deadlines. I'm focused on light, composition, the moment.
That's like meditation.
It is. Hobbies can be a form of active meditation. You enter flow state where time disappears.
I experienced that with painting. I'll start at 7 p.m. and suddenly it's midnight.
That's the magic. What else do hobbies give us?
Community. Hobbies connect you with people who share your interests.
This is huge. I've met some of my best friends through running clubs and photography groups.
Because you already have something in common, the friendship develops naturally.
Right. And it's nice to have friends outside to work circle. Different perspectives, different lives.
Hobbies also give you something to look forward to. When work is stressful, you think, just get through today, then I can go to pottery class tonight.
That anticipation improves your whole day.
Absolutely. What about creativity? Do hobbies make us more creative?
Definitely. Even if your hobby isn't traditionally creative, it exercises different parts of your brain.
Can you explain that?
Sure. So if you work in finance all day, very logical, analytical, doing something creative like painting or playing music activates different neural pathways.
And that makes you better at your job too.
Often, yes. People who have diverse interests and hobbies are better problem solvers because they think more flexibly.
So hobbies aren't just fun, they actually make you more effective overall.
Exactly. Okay, so we've established why hobbies matter. Let's talk about the biggest obstacle, people saying they don't have time.
I hear this constantly. I'd love to have hobbies, but I'm too busy.
Here's the truth. You have time for what you prioritize. If you have time to scroll social media for an hour, you have time for a hobby.
Ooh, calling people out.
But it's true. We waste so much time on things that don't fulfill us. What if you replaced 30 minutes of scrolling with something you actually enjoy?
That's a powerful reframe. It's not about finding time, it's about choosing how to use your time.
Exactly. What if someone genuinely is overwhelmed with work and family responsibilities?
Start incredibly small. Even 15 minutes twice a week is a start.
Yes, you don't need to commit to hours. My photography started with 20-minute walks on Saturday mornings.
And it grew from there?
Eventually, but I didn't start with I'm going to be a serious photographer. I started with I'll take my camera for a short walk,
Low commitment, low pressure.
which made it sustainable. If I'd committed to 2 hours daily, I would have quit immediately.
Let's talk about choosing a hobby. How do you know what to try?
Think back to childhood. What did you love before the world told you what was practical?
I loved drawing as a kid. Teachers praised my art and I was always sketching.
And do you draw now?
I do. I started again 2 years ago and it brings me so much joy.
That's perfect. Childhood interests often point to genuine passions.
What if you can't remember what you loved as a kid?
Try things. The only way to know if you'll enjoy something is to actually try it.
What if you're bad at it?
Who cares? This isn't about being good, it's about enjoying it. I'm a mediocre cook, but I love cooking.
The process is enjoyable, even if the result isn't perfect.
Exactly. Release the need to be good. Just be engaged and curious.
That's freeing. What are some categories of hobbies people might explore?
Creative hobbies, painting, drawing, writing, photography, playing music, crafts, pottery.
Physical hobbies, running, hiking, dancing, rock climbing, yoga, martial arts, cycling.
Intellectual hobbies, reading, learning languages, chess, puzzles, trivia, astronomy.
Social hobbies, board games, book clubs, team sports, volunteering, community theater.
Making hobbies, woodworking, cooking, baking, knitting, sewing, building things.
Nature hobbies, gardening, bird watching, foraging, camping, fishing.
Collecting hobbies, coins, stamps, records, books, vintage items.
Performance hobbies, singing, dancing, acting, stand-up comedy, public speaking.
The options are endless, and you don't need to pick just one.
I have like 5 hobbies: drawing, hiking, reading, cooking, and yoga.
Same. Photography, running, cooking, guitar, and reading. I rotate depending on my mood.
Do you do all of them regularly?
Some more than others. Photography and running are weekly. Guitar is more occasional, and that's okay.
So you don't need to be rigidly consistent?
Not at all. Hobbies should be flexible. Do them when they bring you joy, not because you should.
Let's talk about expensive versus cheap hobbies. People assume hobbies cost a lot.
Some do, but many are very affordable or even free. What are some cheap or free hobbies?
Reading, get books from the library. Walking or running, just need shoes. Drawing, paper and pencils are cheap. Writing, totally free if you have a computer or notebook.
Hiking is free. So is bird watching if you use a free app to identify birds.
Cooking can be cheap if you're making regular meals anyway. Just approach it as a hobby, not a chore.
What about learning? YouTube tutorials are free for almost everything.
So true. I learned guitar basics from YouTube, didn't spend a cent on lessons.
And community centers often offer free or low-cost classes.
Right, you don't need expensive equipment or fancy classes to start. Begin with what you have.
What about hobbies that do require investment? How do you justify the cost?
Think about what you currently spend money on that doesn't bring you joy. Maybe eating out, subscriptions you don't use, impulse purchases.
Redirect that money towards something that actually fulfills you.
Exactly. I canceled 3 streaming services and used that money for a gym membership. Better use of funds.
And hobbies often save money in the long run because you're entertained without constantly spending.
True. A $50 board game provides hours of entertainment instead of going to expensive events.
Let's talk about the pressure to monetize hobbies. This is so common now.
Ugh, this drives me crazy. Everyone thinks every hobby needs to become a side hustle.
You're good at knitting? You should sell scarves. You like photography? Start a business.
And sometimes people do want to monetize, which is fine, but it's also okay to have something just for you.
Not everything needs to be productive or profitable.
Exactly. The moment you monetize a hobby, it becomes work. There's pressure, deadlines, clients, stress.
It loses the pure joy of doing it just because you love it.
Yes, I intentionally keep my photography as a hobby. I could probably sell prints or do weddings, but I don't want to.
Because then it will feel like an obligation.
Exactly. Right now, I photograph what I want when I want, no pressure. That's valuable to me.
I feel the same about my painting. People have offered to buy pieces, but I don't want to paint for others. I want to paint for me.
Protect that space. Not everything in your life needs to generate income.
Let's talk about hobbies and mental health. How do they support our well-being?
Hobbies are crucial for mental health. They provide a sense of accomplishment separate from work.
Even if you had a bad day at work, you can come home and complete a painting or finish a run.
That achievement feeling is so important. It reminds you that you're capable and effective.
What about hobbies and anxiety?
Engaging hobbies interrupt anxious thought patterns. When you're focused on something you enjoy, your brain stops spiraling.
It's like giving your mind a break from worry.
Exactly. And some hobbies, like running, yoga, or gardening, are particularly calming.
The physical movement or connection with nature soothes the nervous system.
Yes. What about depression? Do hobbies help with that?
They can. Having something to look forward to combats the hopelessness of depression.
And the accomplishment of doing your hobby, even in a small way, fights the I'm worthless thoughts.
Though we should say, hobbies support mental health but aren't a replacement for therapy or medication if needed.
Absolutely. They're part of a holistic approach to well-being. Let's discuss hobbies and relationships. Can they strengthen relationships?
Definitely. Shared hobbies give couples something to do together besides watching TV.
My partner and I cook together every Sunday. It's become our quality time.
That's beautiful. Do you talk while you cook?
So much. We're side by side, working together, chatting about life. It's when our best conversations happen.
That's because you're doing something together, not just sitting face to face, which can feel intense.
Exactly. What if you and your partner have different hobbies?
That's healthy too. You don't need to do everything together.
Having separate hobbies means you have your own identity and interesting things to share.
Right. When I come home from a photography walk, I have stories to tell. When my partner comes home from a book club, she shares what they discussed.
You're bringing fresh energy and experiences to the relationship.
Exactly. Absence makes the heart grow fonder applies to hobbies too.
What about hobbies and friendships?
Hobbies are one of the best ways to make friends as an adult.
Because you're meeting people with shared interests in a low-pressure environment.
Yes, I've made incredible friends through my running club. We've bonded over early morning miles.
And those friendships extend beyond the hobby.
Absolutely. We now hang out outside of running, but the hobby was the foundation.
I joined a pottery class and met 3 women who are now close friends.
Because you saw each other weekly, worked on similar things, had natural conversation topics.
And there was no pressure. We were just showing up to enjoy pottery.
That's the magic. Friendships form organically around shared activities.
Let's talk about seasons of hobbies. Do you go through phases?
Oh, totally. I'll be obsessed with photography for months, then shift to focusing more on guitar.
And that's okay? You don't have to do every hobby constantly.
Not at all. Interests naturally wax and wane. Follow your energy.
I've been in a major reading phase lately. I'm not drawing as much, and that's fine.
Exactly. The hobbies are there when you want them. No pressure.
What if you lose interest in a hobby completely? Is it okay to quit?
Absolutely. You're allowed to outgrow hobbies or realize something isn't for you anymore.
No sunk cost fallacy?
Right. Just because you invested time or money doesn't mean you have to keep doing it forever.
I quit tennis after 2 years. I realized I didn't actually enjoy it. I just liked the idea of it.
And that's valuable information. Now you know tennis isn't your thing. Try something else.
What about restarting old hobbies after a break?
That's totally fine. I played guitar in college, quit for 10 years, and picked it back up last year.
How was that transition?
Frustrating at first. I wasn't as good as I remembered, but the love for it was still there, and I'm improving.
So don't let a long break stop you from returning to something you loved.
Not at all. It's never too late to restart a hobby.
Okay, let's give practical advice. How do you actually start a hobby today?
1. Identify what sounds interesting. Make a list of possibilities.
2. Start with what you already have. Don't buy expensive equipment before you try it.
3. Commit to trying it 3 times before deciding. First time is awkward. Second time is still learning. Third, you start to enjoy it.
4. Schedule it. Put hobby time on your calendar or it won't happen.
5. Start small. 15 minutes is better than nothing.
6. Join a class or group. The structure and community keep you consistent.
7. Release perfectionism. You're doing this for fun, not to become a professional.
8. Don't monetize it. Keep at least one thing just for joy.
9. Try multiple hobbies. You don't have to pick just one.
10. Be patient. Hobbies get more enjoyable as you develop skill and routine.
And finally, remember your why. You're doing this for enjoyment, stress relief, fulfillment.
Not every moment of life needs to be productive.
Yes, rest, play, and joy are just as important as work and achievement.
I may agree,
At the end of your life, you won't remember all the emails you answered.
but you'll remember the painting you created, the mountain you climbed, the songs you learned to play.
Those are the memories that make life rich and meaningful.
Okay, challenge time. Listeners, what's one hobby you've been curious about?
This week, just this week, try it once, one time. See how it feels.
YouTube a tutorial, take a free class, borrow equipment from a friend. Just try it.
And tell us about it. We want to hear what hobbies you're exploring.
Share on social media what brings you joy outside of work.
Thanks for listening to English Studio.
Now go do something just for fun.
See you next video.